Hi, welcome to Teach With Me. I am Miss Jen. Today we're going to be making a New Year's project that you can do when you get back from Christmas break. It is a snow globe paired with a New Year's resolution writing for kids style. Kids are also going to be learning how to write the new year. Let's begin. This is a project that the kids are going to be doing. It is a snow globe along with a year for the base. And then their New Year's resolution. I put this one on a black background, but you can put it on whatever color background you want. Your snow globe needs to be some shade of blue. The base can be whatever color you would like it to be on. You will also need a scratch piece of paper because we will be writing it on a scratch paper before we write it on here. You're going to need a paper plate, and you're going to need some paint, some paint brushes, and a felt tip marker. Let's begin. Oh, and scissors. All right, every student is going to need two things. They are all going to need their circle to cut out. I use a paper plate so that it is uniform. I've already traced it. You can't see here very well because I did it in pencil, but if you trace it around it in marker and then you go make the number of copies you need for your students, you'll have that. And then to show you how to make the base, I'm going to do this one brown. All you do is you have a piece of construction paper vertically and you make an arch from one corner to the other corner, and then that's where they're going to write the year. So then once that is done, oops, I have you guys upside down. There we go. Sorry about that. Once you've made your line from one corner in an arch to the other corner, then you're going to give this and you're going to give the circle to the kids, and they're going to do their own cutting out. Now I have these two things cut out already. What you're going to do is you're going to have the kids put, let me turn it over so you can't see how uneven I did that. You're going to have the kids put their names on both of the papers before you even do anything, because if you do not, because these are going to be done in separate stages, their work is going to get mixed up. So the very first thing you want to have them do is to write out the year. So you need to have it written. If you're doing this in small group, you have it written somewhere really big that they can see it. And they're going to do it in pencil first. And you're going to have them write it in pencil, and then you're going to check it. And you're going to tell them you have to look at it first. Once they've done it the way you want them to do it, then they can take their marker, their felt tip marker, in this case I'm using a Sharpie, and then they'll trace over it like this. Okay? Now for the painting, once you're done with that, you're going to put you're going to put these wherever you're going to collect them, keep them all together, and then you're going to begin with your painting project. Now if you look at the painting, you can do this a couple different ways, however you think looks the best. You can do one that has two trees and a snowman in the middle, one that has one tree. Basically, you just need to have three colors. You need a green, a white, and a black. So I'm going to show you how to do this one. This one's my favorite. Okay, the first thing I have the kids do is I have them draw a line around the bottom third of the paper. They're going to take their snow and they're only going to paint up to that line. That kind of gives them somewhere to focus on. Oops, and I did this on the wrong side. You see my name is right there? So good thing I'm not in a classroom. You got to pay attention to that so the kids don't paint on the wrong side. All right, so this is kind of thin paint, so it absorbs a little quicker. So all right, through the magic of the pause button, I have enough done on here. Now for the trees, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the trees on either side, but I want to do the snowman first so that they have a reference point. The snowman's going to be in the middle, so they're going to make their three circles. And then the hat goes on. Lastly, that's your lastly on the snowman. You're going to just have them take black, make a straight line across, and then make a little square on top. and then 2 eyes. Oops. You can also do the eyes with the marker when this has dried, but that's up to you. All right, now for the tree, I show them you are making lines that go side to side that are swooping downward. So one, or right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, all the way to the bottom. This is our little pine tree. If you have any brown, which I don't have any right now, you can make a little trunk on here if you would like. And then we're going to do it on both sides. You can see this doesn't take all that long to do. And go all the way to the bottom. And then I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to add a little snow. Not a whole lot, a little snow. You want to have some something for them to either have a lot of brushes or have them something to rinse their brushes out if they're, because they're mixing colors here a little bit. Then they're going to dip their finger in the paint. They're going to make snowflakes. And then this needs to get put aside because it needs to be laminated before you can go any further. You can't attach your base until this has been dried and laminated. Now for the next part of this, for the writing part, I've made a frame. It says my New Year's resolution is, and then they need to finish that sentence. I'm going to say to read more books, but it can be anything. You're going to literally brainstorm what a resolution is, and then you're going to show the kids, give them ideas, and I'm going to try to let them have their own thoughts about this, but it can be literally anything. So I'll have the kids come up with ideas before we ever even start this project. So some might say, be nicer to my brother, read more books, help my mom. They come up with all of these different things. I'm going to say read more books for mine, and then I'm going to write it out. I'm going to have them write it out on the scratch paper, and then I will give them some feedback. We will correct it, and then I'll write the corrected version here. I usually use a different color marker, and then have them copy my corrected version on their paper. But I'm going to give them feedback. I'm going to say, oh, you did such a good job. I love how you put the finger spaces, and you have a punctuation, you have your period at the end of that. Excellent. And then whatever they do, they're going to write it, whatever you've corrected, they're going to rewrite it here on this one. This is your final copy. They're going to also trace this. My New Year's resolution is to read more books. This. All right. Once they're done, you're going to cut it off here, and then you're going to put it on the bottom of your snow globe. Let me show you my sample one more time. Looks like this. So there's your snow globe. This has been laminated. You've got your year, and then right underneath that, my New Year's resolution is to eat better and study harder. So that's a different one. And then the one I just did says to read more books. And then that is it. All right, another simple lesson. I hope you enjoyed this one. I have some other lessons coming up soon. And let me show you my shirt today. It says to read, and it's got all our favorite characters: Pete the cat, Rainbow Fish, No David, the crayons and the crayon box and such. So anyway, if you like this video, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time.